Have you ever had a friend or a family member say, oh, I wouldn't do that? That's too risky, or that's not going to be a good idea, or you're bragging too much. My name is Oliver Fernandez. I'm a construction business owner that has successfully completed over $80 million worth of contracts. And I'm a real estate investor that has invested in over $150 million worth of real estate, soon to be $300 million worth of real estate. And welcome to The Imperfect Entrepreneur. So over the past, couple months, I had something really upsetting happen. And my coach from my old football coach in college ended up passing away. And during that process of him passing away, I had another team member reach out to me and say, hey, Oliver, I'd love for you to put together a video, just telling Coach Robinson what he's done for you and like how much you appreciate him. And I was like, of course, no problem. I'd love to do that, right? And I put the video together, and also some of my teammates put the video together. And then my friend merged all those videos together as one, and the entire family received the video and was able to watch it while this guy, my old coach, was going through his process of, leaving this earth, right? And I watched the video and I was like, wow, that was really cool. Like, it was a cool experience to have talked about that and, just said thank you to him. Thank you for what he has done for me. Thank you for what he has, done for my family, right? Like the things and the internal things that I learned from him. And I'll play the video too, so you can see it. And while we were like watching the replay of this video, once we got the final edits, I had my wife and my sister and some other family members there, and we were watching the replay, and they were like, oh, you're like so bragging and this and that. And I'm like, what? In my mind, I was like that, but obviously I know the first rule of anything is always agreement. So I was like, oh, I hear you, I agree, I understand. Manny! Coach Robinson, I know that's what you love to call me, man. And honestly, in the beginning, I was a little insecure. I thought that was like, man, he doesn't know my name, but I knew you were saying that of endearment. And I got the message from Max to let me know the health you're in, and honestly, it hit me to my heart, man, because I really appreciated the experiences that we all had together, and even more importantly than that, the way you showed up consistently, even when things weren't always going your way, and that was something that's been monumental in my life. It's helped me now go on and build a business that's completed over $70 million in construction projects. We're doing $20 million a year in construction. We have over $150 million worth of real estate, and I really appreciate all the life lessons that I learned from you and my 4 years of, 3 years of experience with you. One other thing that I really took from you was how you treated your family, your wife, your daughter, and your son. And we now have a daughter, and we have another daughter on the way after 2 back-to-back miscarriages. But I just saw the love, and no matter how hard you worked, you still loved your family. And I'll never forget that, and I'm going to live that out and be an example for the people that look up to me. So I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for everything. Yeah, so the cool thing about that video is that this person really added value to my life, and I really wanted him and his family to know how much value they added to my life. And the only way to really do that is by tooting your horn. So to then have my family and my friends talking with me about it as if like, Oliver, you're being too braggadocious. Like, honestly, for a moment, had me thinking like, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I went overboard. Maybe I did too much. Maybe I, bragged too much, right? And then it was like, do these people have in their life what I want in my life? And it's a tough question to start asking yourself, especially when you really care about the people that you're getting the opinion from. But when you start to really ask yourself that question, you get the answers of that question, then that's how you should start taking action on it. And what I mean by that is, if they don't have the results that you have in your life, and if they do not have the results that you want in your life, and they're giving you feedback about you being too opinionated or you being too braggadocious or tooting your horn too much, then I'm not going to listen to them. Now, if this person was my mentor and they did have the results that I wanted in my life, and they said I was tooting my horn too much, then I would now consider their thought. And the one thing that I do know is that everybody that is successful would never say I'm tooting my horn too much. And the reason why they would never say that is because anybody who is successful is always promoting. They're always telling people about the things that they're doing, the things that they're working on, the things that they're moving toward. And the reason why they're doing that is because they need people to help execute on that plan. They need people that are excited. They need people that want to go and do and create something. So they're telling people about it. It's not tooting their horn in a negative way where it's like being braggadocious. It's tooting the horn because they want to first ingratiate the person, but also there's other people that are going to be watching that video. Like all my old teammates. Like, there might have been something that I said in the video that really got them excited and were like, hey, you know what? I want to reach out to Oliver. Oliver's doing some big things now, and I want to bring my talents to work with Oliver. The same way LeBron James brought his talents to South Beach, hey, I want to bring my talents and go work with Oliver. Well, they would never know that I was doing big things if I went on there and I was like, hey, you know, my name is Oliver and I really appreciate you, and, you know, thanks a lot. You know, you did a great job and thanks a lot, bye. Like, no, like that doesn't attract anybody. That doesn't get anybody excited. That doesn't move toward the result of building a massive organization that impacts the lives of 1 million people. That's like me hedging because I'm scared about what they're going to say. I'm scared about what they're going to think. And honestly, like, this is my team members are all very confident type A personalities. Like they like when they have something to talk about, like they're tooting their horn. So all of a sudden, like, I moved away from football. I continued to create things in my life. I'm not just sitting thinking about 10 years ago and talking about all those memories. I'm talking about what I'm doing right here, right now. Because that's the only thing that I can control. I can't control 10 years ago. But I can control right here, right now. And right here, right now is great. It's moving toward the best version of myself. And I'm excited about that. So I'm gonna tell people about that. I'm glad that I have something right here, right now to talk about. I'm not just totally talking about 10 years ago and the best years of my life. No, I want to continue to make the best years of my life the best years of my life, and that's in front of me. I don't want to, be living in the past. How many people do you know that are living in the past? Well, living in the past is no fun. Living in the past is like watching a movie over and over and over again that, like, you cannot do anything to improve on. So be very careful about the people that you let into your inner circle and influence your thoughts and your decisions and your actions. Because if I start taking action on some family and friends that were saying, hey, Oliver, you're tooting your horn too much, I might not get the life that I've always dreamed of. Why would I not get the life that I've always dreamed of? Because they don't have the life that I've always dreamed of. And how would they know how to get the life that I've always dreamed of if they don't have it? So don't listen to that. Find the people that have the life that you've always dreamed of having and take the feedback from them. And it's hard. Trust me, it is hard. Because you get those opinions, you're like, oh, I like to please people. I don't like to have people say, hey, Oliver, you're going too hard here. You're tooting your horn too much here. You're doing too much there. I don't want that. I don't want that being said about me. But I'm okay, and I've learned to grow into being okay that is said about me, especially when it's people that do not have in their life what I want to have in my life. I'm okay. Like I've grown accustomed to that. I was having a conversation with my wife the other day, and I bring the kids to their daycare in the morning, and I got my daughter in the front, and I got my son. I wear him on me because he's a little bit smaller. He's younger, and while I'm bringing them there, my hands are full. I got 2 backpacks. I got a lot of things going on. I'm like the Mr. Mom, but it's so much pleasure that I get from that because I get to spend that period of time with them. There's nobody else. I try not to be on my phone. I try to just totally be there with them and looking around, pointing to the birds, breathing the fresh air. And one day last week, I had to go on the road, and my wife did that routine. And she was like, oh, I felt like I had all these kids. And I'm like, babe, that's your mistake right there, is you're caring about what other people are saying and thinking. The moment you start thinking about what other people are saying and thinking about you is the moment you fail. Because now all of a sudden you're letting them control your actions. I'm not letting anybody control my actions. No one is going to control my actions, especially if they don't have the life that I want. Now, if they have the life that I want, I will then listen to them, and I will still filter what's being told to me, because I'm not going to just totally blindly listen to anybody from a standpoint of doing something that's unethical or breaking the law, right? But if my mentor gives me advice, and like I've always said, if your mentor is giving you advice and you don't agree with it, that means it's actually good advice, because if it already made sense to you, you would already be taking action on it. So I would be taking advice from my mentors that I didn't necessarily have the thought of, and I'd start taking action on that. But I wouldn't be taking all advice from my mentors, especially if it was illegal or unethical, right? So that's the way to qualify that part. But anything else, like, hey, Oliver, you got to get card on you for your entire team. Done. Hey, Oliver, you should come to this mastermind. Done. Hey, Oliver, you should focus on your top 3 clients and only focus on them, and then try to find more of them. Done. Those things, that's not breaking the law. That's not unethical. I'm going after that full bore. Start taking action on it, put the team on it, whatever it takes to make that a reality, right? So in life, there's always going to be opinions. The opinions that you want to listen to are from people that have what you want in your life. The opinions you do not want to listen to are from people that don't have what you want in your life. And honestly, the people that don't have what you want in your life are going to have a lot more opinions than the people that do have what you want in your life. So you got to filter that out. And the reason why you got to filter that out is because you want to make the rest of your life the best of your life. So go out there and continue to build your legacy.